The Wendigo. The Wendigo originates from the folklore of the Algonquian-speaking tribes, including the Ojibwe, Cree, Innu, and Saulteaux peoples, communities deeply connected to the harsh northern climates. In their traditions, the Wendigo was more than a monster. It was a spiritual warning. The core idea? A human consumed by greed or desperation could become something inhuman. A person who resorted to cannibalism, even under extreme conditions, risked turning into a Wendigo, a twisted being, forever hungry, never satisfied. Descriptions vary, but many say the Wendigo is a gaunt, skeletal creature, sometimes with decaying skin, glowing eyes, and a heart made of ice. Others depict it as having deer-like antlers, fusing human and beast into a horrifying hybrid. But more than its physical form, what defined the Wendigo was its hunger, an insatiable craving for human flesh. The more it ate, the hungrier it grew. It was a curse without end. To the Algonquian people, the Wendigo was a powerful cultural metaphor. In a world where communities had to rely on one another to survive brutal winters, selfishness could destroy everyone. The Wendigo served as a moral compass, a way to warn against greed, isolation, and the dangers of turning your back on the community. It was also a spiritual sickness. Some believed that the Wendigo spirit could infect others, driving them to madness and cannibalism, even when food was available. This was known as Wendigo psychosis, a condition where an individual developed an overwhelming desire to eat human flesh, often accompanied by delusions and extreme fear. And it wasn't just a myth. There are chilling stories where it seemed real. One of the most famous cases took place in 1878 in Alberta, Canada. A Cree man named Swift Runner was a respected member of his community, a hunter, a father. But during a harsh winter, something went wrong. Despite being near a trading post and having access to supplies, Swift Runner murdered and ate his entire family, his wife and 6 children. When he was eventually caught, he claimed he had been possessed by the spirit of the Wendigo. The authorities, horrified by his confession, hanged him. But to this day, many believe it wasn't madness alone that drove him, but something darker. Was this true Wendigo psychosis? A real-life encounter with the ancient spirit of hunger? The legend of the Wendigo didn't die with the 19th century. In fact, it's thrived in modern horror, taking on new forms across media. In film and television, the Wendigo has become a go-to symbol of transformation and corruption. In Stephen King's Pet Sematary, the Wendigo lurks behind the cursed ground. The TV show Hannibal features a Wendigo figure as a metaphor for the cannibalistic killer. In video games like Until Dawn, the Wendigo appears as mutated monsters, former humans who were cursed after eating flesh. These modern takes often blend body horror with psychological terror, but the core idea remains. The Wendigo represents the line between human and monster, a line that can be crossed with a single desperate choice. So, why does the Wendigo still haunt our imaginations? Because the myth speaks to something universal, the fear of losing control, of becoming something monstrous. Whether it's a metaphor for addiction, greed, mental illness, or colonial trauma, the Wendigo legend reflects the internal battles we all face. In a world still plagued by inequality, environmental destruction, and social isolation, the Wendigo warns us. Don't let hunger, for power, for more, for anything, consume who you are. The Wendigo may have come from the icy woods of Canada and the northern US, but its shadow reaches far beyond the forest. It lives in our stories, our fears, and maybe somewhere deep inside us all. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the dark world of cryptid folklore, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more legends from the edge of myth and madness. Stay curious and stay warm out there.
Folklore.